little babies.
Such a calming intro. So nice.
From your people.
Yeah. Speaking of people, who is the NBA MVP this year?
Jason Tatum.
Shea Gilgeous Alexander, best team in the West, averaging 32 a night and shooting over 50%. He is the league MVP.
Do you actually believe that, or are you just being a cunt?
No, I absolutely believe that.
You think he's better than Tatum?
I think Tatum has too many stars on his team. Alexander does not.
Tatum has played half the season without half of those stars, and he's played every night.
The team falls apart whenever he's not on the floor. He's literally the player coach. Do you see his coach challenges him to a fight and wants him to get text because he's so fucking stupid?
I'm just saying.
The real answer is Jokic. In terms of like teams actually falling up, if Jokic wasn't on that team, the Nuggets might not make the playoffs. So I think the real answer is Jokic, but Tatum is there. Alexander, I've said my piece on Gilgeous Alexander. I don't like him as a player, and I certainly don't believe he's the MVP.
Is it because he's Canadian?
Doesn't help.
No, Canadians are dumb. Are the Giants currently the worst franchise in the NFL? I think it's really close.
That title belongs to the Jaguars.
I don't know. I think what the Giants have done since they let rid of Coughlin, I think they are very close to the worst team in the NFL.
I think the Jets still got them beat.
Ooh, Jets, yeah. That's another good one.
The Jets might be the only one that's that close to them because of what the Jets have done with quarterbacks, but the Giants just look so bad. Everything they do is wrong. Everything. Last year, they should have gotten their quarterback last year, and they got their receiver, and they ended up worse. All the their three quarterbacks were drafted after they picked, and all three of them appear to be decent.
I think last time they haven't been respectable since Eli, right?
Correct.
Well, it was that. Yeah, they got rid of Coughlin, and then it was that year after when McAdoo was there. They were still okay, and then after that, McAdoo, he shit canned it.
What was the year with OBJ where they went down Miami, the playoff game, and they shit the bed? Eli was still. That's the last time I remember that team.
It was that year. It was McAdoo's first year.
Yeah, so that's going on. Got to be like 10 years or something. Like closer to 10 years than not. I'm rounding up there, Raymond.
I'm going to go. Jameis Winston is going to be the first player ever to have 40 touchdowns and 40 interceptions in one season.
40.
Like a good 40-40. All right. Should the Steelers just nut it up and sign Aaron Rodgers, or should they just finally bottom it out and just like tank it out and go for a quarterback in the draft next year?
I think this is the year where Omar Epps finally has a losing season, doesn't make the playoffs, and the Steelers cut the cord with him.
I'd trade TJ Watt and Garrett. Help me. George Pickens. Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett, same thing.
Whatever your top assets are, see what you can get and rebuild. They are basically a quarterback away from, being decent. Yeah. And, they're not going to sign Aaron Rodgers, and he's not going to help them. So I would not sign Aaron Rodgers.
What was yours? Kirk Cousins?
They absolutely should not sign Aaron Rodgers, but if they do sign Aaron Rodgers, he might accomplish it for him and bottom him out just like he did.
Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, if they want to stay the Steelers, they could trade a third for Kirk Cousins and go 9-8 again or whatever. And
that's what they do. They're an average team. They're always on that bubble.
To me, they're at the point where that's played out. They either have to like make a real move or just like, okay, be bad for a year, but like they're never good. They have to get a quarterback. You have to get a quarterback,
especially with those receivers.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, true. Xavier Worthy is suing his ex. Anybody you guys would like to sue?
Your mother for not being thankful for all the cum I've given her.
I don't know what you'd sue for.
I didn't foresee you going there. I assume you would. This was a setup for a smart ass remark. I didn't think that's where it would go, but you took it there. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I think like suing is probably like No one in my personal life. I don't have enough beef in the personal life. There's several people in the public eye that suing is not really the right scenario. Like punching in the face repeatedly until they can't breathe anymore is more like where I'd like to go with that. But if you could do that legally, sure. Like in the
what about your IT department, Richard, for the Wi-Fi debacle in your bathroom?
Yeah, I guess. But again, so yeah, now we're just in a fictitious land where suing people solves like
I think that's what Xavier Worthy's doing. It no.
No, I think Xavier Worthy's going to fucking win.
Probably.
If you listen to that story. Yeah, sure. I'll sue my IT department for having bad Wi-Fi in the bathroom.
Perfect. Very good. And then you'll soon be looking for better employment.
That's right.
Is it a lock that Cam Ward will be taken by the Titans with the first pick?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they've almost said it, haven't they?
Yeah, he's going to be irrelevant in
I don't
3
know
years.
why, but they've basically I don't know why teams do this. I don't know why they get all chummy with the guy they're going to pick. Why not at least like try and bait somebody into a trade? Like I don't understand.
There's a reason they're picking first.
Yeah, that's
fucking idiots.
Yep, they are. How long would it have taken Ime Udoka to bone the new wife of the Celtics owner?
Who?
About as long as it took for you to butcher his name.
Yeah, as soon as the ink dried on the sale of the Celtics,
that is a nice
turn. I didn't know Native Americans couldn't pronounce Ime Udoka. Udoka.
Nope, you got the fucking point. He likes to fuck. How long would it have taken him to fuck that hussy?
I want to know how long it's going to take for that story to come out now that Steve Peguluka has burnt that bridge and hates Wick to Kingdom Come. As soon as that, I'll tell you when. As soon as the ink actually dries on the Celtics sale, which could be this June or 3 years from now, we'll learn about the Udoka stories. That's when that'll start floating out, or maybe before. Maybe it'll be maybe they'll try and neg him a little bit.
Can we just invite him on the show and ask him personally?
Yeah. What if it was Peguluka's wife? This wasn't the story Udoka had sex with like a high-ranking official in
and they wouldn't say who it was exactly.
First it was that he dicked down the entire front office female staff, and then it was more like no, it's like a very high-ranking, like part of ownership. He had an affair.
One high-ranking dicking.
Yeah. Joe Mazzulla is so much more entertaining than Udoka.
Not entirely. I mean, I like a sex scandal, and that's fun.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to like maintain the. He got fired for that.
Yeah,
I got a sex
scandal. Because of it, we got Mazzulla. So that guy's an asshole. He screwed me over. Is Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson a ticking time bomb for the Giants?
No, I think Jameis is going to be a fun watch. If they draw Hunter, you got Hunter on one side, Neighbors on the other. That's going to be a fun watch.
It's absolutely a ticking time bomb. Russell Wilson is going to hate Jameis Winston. He's going to hate him.
Especially when Russell Wilson gets cut after training camp, he's going to really hate Jameis Winston.
He's not getting cut. What are you going to cut him for Jameis Winston and his 40-40? Yes. I don't think either of them give a shit enough for it to like be a ticking time bomb. I think they'll like float between starters. They'll each get like 6 to 7 starts, and they'll kind of stink. And Brian Daboll will get fired for it. That's the ticking time bomb.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
People think this is like a, like you said, a ticking time bomb. They're not going to mesh. I actually think of it like what was the old sitcom, Strangers, Perfect Strangers, like just weirdo that get together and they kind of mesh. I can see that happening.
Oh, that won't happen.
Lightning in a bottle. Never mind.
Who does Jameis Winston not get along with?
No one. He loves everybody. He's a fun guy. Yeah, I like him. Yeah. So he's the foreign guy in Perfect Strangers, and Russell Wilson's the cranky fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very good.
Thank you.
Was this the saddest, most underplayed MLB opening day ever?
Joke's on you, Bob. The season started 2 weeks ago in Japan.
So I guess the answer was yes, but nobody knew it was 2 weeks ago. So thank you.
Yep.
Mocks are starting to show the Pats landing Carter or Hunter. Do you believe them at all?
Yep, because people are stupid and they're going to draft those two boneheads, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, 1-2.
Yeah, it's just math. Like, we went through the 3 outcomes that it could be, 2 of which are Carter or Hunter. So sure, yeah. What is that math? 66%, 66.6.
Yeah, I just don't see Shedeur going in the top 3, so I'm going to go with no there. Puka Nakua says he wants to retire at 30. So this guy's a pussy, right?
No, because he doesn't want to be O.J. Simpson or Aaron Hernandez. So this kid's smart.
CTE had nothing to do with OJ Simpson or Aaron Hernandez. Maybe OJ. Definitely not Aaron Hernandez.
They said his brain was so scrambled that he was
They
like a
said he had a
9-year-old
pretty
man.
fucked up brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was murking people in Florida. So, like, you're talking about CTE from getting dropped as a kid? Okay, but it wasn't football CTE.
Well, and he was gay
the whole time. They were saying he was head injuries, concussions the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And from
From
getting his
Aaron
head pounded in
Hernandez?
from having a shithole dad.
Yep.
That's just blaming it on
Fucking read a book, Rich.
Aaron
Jesus
Hernandez
Christ.
does not get to pin his murderous ass on CTE. No, he was an asshole from the jump.
Well, he was a career asshole, absolutely, that had CTE.
He was shooting people in Florida.
Yeah, because he had a wicked bad concussion and
nobody blames Pee Wee CTE on decisions made. No, he doesn't get to claim CTE, and neither does OJ for that matter. Like that's not.
OJ's dead.
Junior Seau had CTE.
Show some respect.
Chest open.
Whatever. Puka's a pussy.
Yeah, Puka's a pussy. We'll be back with Simplest Minds of the Week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
But I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
A few candidates here. Did you say
I got one. I got
okay,
one.
Go ahead. Start with yours.
Okay. Hold on. Please hold. I gotta scroll up a little bit. Here we go. 25-year-old Rihanna Evans has pleaded guilty in the UK's first ever cyber farting case, facing penalties after sending videos of herself farting to her boyfriend's ex. Evans allegedly caused distress or anxiety to the recipient with her messages.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's fucking dumb.
Speaking of pussies.
Yeah, England. You guys be better.
Wait, I thought you were gonna pivot to what did you say we were gonna learn? Oh, no, what did you say we were gonna talk about after?
What?
Oh, Shea Gilgeous being an asshole off the court. The thing that I sent you. You remember that? So there's a report that Shea signed his like $290 million deal or whatever. And like a week before that, he fired his long-term agent that helped him, get the deal and make it through the NBA, which the agent gets anywhere from 3 to 10% of the deal. So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander fired his agent and then signed the contract, kept the money for himself, reportedly, and screwed his agent out of, call it 5% of $290 million. Like the prick that he is. Still your MVP, Ray?
Yeah. That's a genius, too. Money. You
let him do all the work, and then he's like, thanks, asshole. See you later.
Real Canadian thing to do. Love it.
Yeah, it is. That guy is a dick.
Love it. I'm now more of a fan.
Absolute prick. So are you guys. It's all adding up now.
I didn't say it was a good thing. I'm laughing at it.
Family's gonna have to go on food stamps because you guys are that big of assholes. All right, why don't you play the NCAA?
Fine, I'll live off the land.
This might be the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I swear the NCAA could screw up a one-car funeral. Listen to this. The transfer portal is now officially open. Not only is the NCAA tournament still going on, but the NIT is still going on as well. So the NCAA decides to open the portal, allowing players to leave their school while some of them are still playing in tournament games. This is like if the NBA started free agency after the first round of the playoffs. So Giannis is about to play the Cavs in the second round, but he's already signed with the Knicks for next season. In fact, we're already seeing it come into play. Michigan is about to play Auburn in the Sweet 16 on Friday. And one of their players, Justin Pippen, has already informed the team he's entering the portal. How awkward is that? So this kid's gonna suit up on Friday for their Sweet 16 game when the entire team already knows he's gone? This is wild. And this is an easy solution. Just wait until everyone's season's officially over. It's so stupid that Coach Calipari, one of the legendary coaches in college basketball, didn't even know it opened today.
When does it open, the portal? This Monday? So Monday, we're really preparing for a game, and we're having individual meetings about, are you coming back?
Aside from the fact of it being extremely awkward, it's also a major disadvantage to those teams still playing, because their entire focus is going to be on their upcoming games and advancing in the tournament, not on which players they want to get in the portal.
That kid was very annoying and kept hitting his
That
mic.
kid fucking yeah, you know what I'm saying? The portal's open.
Was that him hitting his mic or you?
That was him.
Okay. That drove me crazy. I really just wanted that video for, obviously the story is ridiculous. Like, why is the transfer portal open in the middle of the tournament? But then Calipari not knowing, and just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. These coaches hate this transfer portal. They hate it for good reason. It's really dumb.
They're saying like last year there was only like 80 something kids that were in the transfer portal, and this year alone there's like over 1,000.
The NCAA, like you said, what was this thing? Something about a one-car funeral. They just don't know how to get it right, and the only thing to do to get it right is make them professionals and make them a feeder league and do.
They pretty much are.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
Gino, whatever his name is, UConn said like
Gino.
Make a salary cap. Make these kids sign contracts. You can't just come and go as you please. You're going to get X amount of money. You already are getting this money. They know it's a business. I mean.
Yeah.
NCAA football has been a business for 25 years, you know. But
it's also rooting in the pros.
It certainly is. Regardless of that, why is the portal open in the middle of the
so dumb?
Because they can't get it right.
But that's an easy one. Like, what do you like? Who even thought that was a good idea? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, how does that pass when you're still playing games? That's so dumb.
Someone needs to get fired for that. Okay, we're gonna close out on the Stephen A. versus LeBron.
I have 4 parts to this because it's so fucking long.
Okay, it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
How caught up are you on the Stephen A. versus LeBron, Bobby?
Bobby.
I'm familiar with it in general, that they're beefing. I don't know all the details.
Okay, for anybody listening, we'll play Stephen A.'s. It's basically just Stephen A.'s kind of response to one of the latest things that happened, but I'll give you the quick timeline. So in January, Stephen A. Smith criticized Bronny James, LeBron's son, but more so criticized LeBron James for his rank nepotism and getting his son drafted, getting him a guaranteed contract when really everybody on the planet knew Bronny James did not deserve it. He struggled mightily in the NBA to start the season. LeBron made him get on the court so he could have the moment as father and son on the NBA court. First ones ever to do it. And I just, unbelievable moment of narcissism from LeBron James. And Stephen A. Smith basically said, as a father, you got to stop this shit. You're putting your son in a terrible position. Let him go make his way on his own. Everyone basically agreed with him. And then this March, during a Lakers-Knicks game, Stephen A. Smith was on the sideline. LeBron approached him, did his best Will Smith without the slap, said, "Keep my son's name off your fucking mouth." That was caught on camera and then was made a big deal of. Stephen A. Smith then responded on First Take, acknowledging LeBron's perspective, but basically not backing down, saying, "Hey, like, I was right." And then what got a little bit harder on a podcast called LeBron's approach weak and some bullshit. And then LeBron had some conversation with Richard Jefferson about the encounter, saying, Stephen A. Smith shouldn't have made it personal about me as a father, which he didn't really. I guess he did. Stephen A. Smith on his podcast, if LeBron wanted a physical altercation and swung at him, Stephen A. Smith definitely would have taken a swing at him, which I just find hilarious because he's like 25 years older and 6 inches smaller. And yeah, LeBron's like, insufferable, but he would kick your ass, Stephen A. Smith.
He's a foot fucking smaller than him. He's
80 pounds bigger.
So LeBron has an Instagram post about Stephen A. Smith working out, boxing, again, at like whatever, he's like 60 years old, 61 years old, and he doesn't look terribly intimidating. But LeBron puts this Instagram post and puts womp, 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 and it's just Stephen A. Smith like working out. Is pretty cringeworthy. And then the latest thing, LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show and gave this candid interview, basically just kind of shit talking a lot of people. It was a very long form, very classic Pat McAfee show. I haven't watched the whole thing, but the clips obviously are negative. LeBron talking negative about people, specifically about Stephen A. Smith. And then Stephen A. Smith gave this 15-minute monologue responding to LeBron James, of which we have a little bit of, which is pretty fucking awesome. So, I don't know. Here you go.
LeBron James went on national television yesterday and lied. He said that I have no problem with you talking about the game. What did I say about Bronny James other than at the time he wasn't ready? That was it. I said nothing else. So if that's the issue, and I pointed to LeBron James and the fact that you've circumvented a meritocracy just to get your wish at the expense of the credibility of the league in a lot of people's eyes, that's talking about you. That's not talking about your son. And then he goes about the business of taking it a step further. First of all, let's understand something to the viewing public in America and beyond. This was planned. Rich Paul was on Pat McAfee's show about 10 days earlier, whatever. Rich Paul, for everybody that knows, is the man, the founder of Clutch Sports. He's a strategic thinker. He didn't go there by accident. You're there talking with Pat McAfee, and the next thing you know, within 2 weeks, after obviously a negotiation took place, LeBron James, I know that the man I am today is not the man that I was a decade ago, physically or beyond. I can tell you that. So we get that out the way. Why do I bring that up? Because that's how petty you've become. You're LeBron James. You that butthurt over the things that I'm saying, that you would post that video. When has LeBron James ever done something like that? But suddenly you're doing that as it pertains to me. This man is in his feelings. I wonder why. Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT? Because I'll never believe you're the GOAT? Because I have you number 2 at all times? Do I have to have ESPN and First Take put up the ticker tape right now and say, yo, could you put that up there, please? Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. He doesn't want any pushback. He just wants to say what he said like he did on courtside and then depart, but looks right up to the camera that's behind us that I never saw, who was filming it all along. The man orchestrates stuff. The man will smile in your face, and he's got something behind his back, ready to stab you in it. It's who he has been. It's who I have known him to be. It's why he doesn't like me, because he knows I know it, and it's why I certainly don't like him. But it's not going to stop me from being professional at all times. America, the world. I work for ESPN. I will not dishonor this network. I will not dishonor this profession by being unprofessional when it comes to somebody I don't like. Just because I don't like you as a person doesn't mean I cannot appreciate your unquestionable, undeniable, unparalleled greatness. The day he came up to me was the day my new contract was announced. So he knows, like everybody else, it's going to be a little while before I go away. I was here before he got here in 2003. And in all likelihood, I'm going to be here when he's gone. You got to deal with that, bro. Plain and simple. It ain't a crime for Michael Jordan to be a GOAT. But clearly, it's a crime with him. And he goes through all of these histrionics and all of this other stuff with Pat McAfee. Be my damn guest. Love Pat McAfee show. Great job. And any other show on ESPN, y'all continue to do what you do. But LeBron James coming on any show, on this network or any other, doesn't escape me. Let's go on with First.
Little theatric there. You could tell when
Little theatric. He pretty much said what everyone's scared to say, is that LeBron's a fucking cunt.
Well,
Yeah,
what I was going,
yeah.
the theatric of it was, at the end there, he kind of drops his voice, and that's what he does. But you could see him going in and out of that. Like, he starts with kind of a, very, diplomatic approach, and then whatever the second or third video we had, talks about being butthurt and like, not, I don't like LeBron James. He knows I don't like. I know he's full of shit. I know he orchestrates shit, and he knows I know. That's why he doesn't like me. Like, you could see his, and then he kind of brought it back towards the end. I always get my antenna up, like maybe the whole thing's orchestrated for ratings and shit, but I don't think so on this one.
I think they fucking hate each other.
No, it didn't seem like it. Seems like he does not like him.
If I'm LeBron James, I back down fucking immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, first of all, this is Steven Smith's arena, and I think
he could do that all day. He's really good at that.
He's a reporter. He's been, threatened before. He's had to have it. the skeletons in Stephen A. Smith's closet can't be nearly what they are in LeBron James's closet.
Well,
And
ask P. Diddy.
Yeah, ain't no Diddy party like a Diddy party. Stephen A. Smith has even came out. I don't think that wasn't in there, but he hasn't talked about LeBron James not attending Kobe Bryant's service. Hasn't talked about not attending D Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony because he knows he carried him to these championships and things like this. So the mud is starting to sling, and it can go. And there's starting to people are starting to pile on. Like Drake is starting to pile on. LeBron James has a ton of fucking enemies and haters, and I'm sure they're all holding a piece of dirt somewhere along the line. Because he's a narcissistic fucking prick. And
what's that quote? You either die young as a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah, something like that.
Your career is now 20 plus years career. You're now the villain.
Yeah.
Very prophetic there from Raymond.
Very well.
Deep.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. And I also am going to fuck your mother after that tonight.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. This has been Semi Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live March 27th. We're going to end on a high note. Raven, see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's been an hour and 25 minutes that Richard has needed his shit, and he held it in. Kudos, Richard. Kudos.
Speaking of professionals, thank you.